It's not every day that we have tropical moisture moving into northern Nevada, but that's exactly what's happening here today, tomorrow, and on Saturday. By Saturday, we're going to start to work in some drier air, but we'll still have just a little bit of some moisture to work with. With any storms that do develop, we could see anything from fire starts to flash flooding, hail, and wind. The threat itself is medium, but it is higher in places like the Sierra or over burn scars. But in general, it's a medium threat here. And again, it could include fire starts, flooding, hail, and wind. There's going to be a big variation in rain totals between the Sierra compared to the state of Nevada and in the Truckee Meadows. So again, this is all tropical moisture that's moving in. You probably noticed all the high level cloudiness today, and it's coming up from the south. This is the infrared satellite, but I've changed the legend and the color scale to where it's bright colors, and so it just really makes the clouds pop, and you can pick out where they are. And it's pretty much a good chunk of the state of Nevada, especially further south. Up to the north, the clouds are more thin in nature. They're thicker further south, but we still have a lot of it. And again, it's coming up from the south, all from those remnants from what used to be Tropical Storm Mario. So this is what we normally show you with the infrared. It's more of a white or a gray scale, so this too can pick out the clouds. You can see them coming up from the south. Now the cloud cover is hindering the amount of energy that we have for thunderstorms. So the thunderstorm threat is still there, but because of the cloud cover, it's much lower. We do have a good amount of moisture, at least a lot, but with time we're going to get enough moisture here at the surface too. I also wanted to point out that we have the low to our west here. We have a ridge to our northeast, so more than likely this tropical moisture is going to kind of ride along the California coastline here, and it's going to find the weakness in the jet stream. Typically it goes to where there's a weakness opposed to a ridge. The ridge kind of blocks everything, but in general it's going from south to north with a little bit of a westerly component. So for right now, it is dry in the Truckee Meadows, but it is raining further south, closer to Vegas, Southern California. That's where we do have multiple flash flood warnings. We also have a couple severe thunderstorm warnings. You can tell just by all those polygons that are flashing there. So much quieter up to the north, and by the time it gets to our area, we're not going to have as much juice to feed off of, because of the ones down to the south are taking up a lot of it. But I did highlight where a lot of the tropical moisture is coming up from. Again, it's coming up from the south right now, pretty much from Southern California, and it's an expansive amount of cloud cover now starting to pull into Oregon as well as Idaho. And again, it's all tropical moisture. For right now, it's in the form of some high level cloudiness. Now we do have a chance, we're seeing a few thunderstorms tomorrow, especially in the afternoon. Anyone here in the green has a possibility of having a thunderstorm. So it does include the Truckee Meadows and includes the Basin and Range, and it includes the Tahoe Basin as well. Today though, it favors areas further south and can't rule out some flash flooding. And green would be a marginal risk and yellow would be a slight risk. And so the marginal risk is basically about a 5% chance. So it's very localized. And yellow would be a slight, and that would be a 50% chance, or not 50, 15. And so green is marginal, yellow would be slight, and that's further south for today. Tomorrow though, it lifts and expands further north, so it does include the Truckee Meadows and that marginal risk. Again, it's a 5% chance basically from a point and to the right of that within 25 miles. As far as in the yellow, that would be a slight chance, and that does include the Tahoe area for Friday. So overnight tonight, we do have a chance for rain in the Truckee Meadows. This afternoon, this evening, it's around Lake Tahoe, Mono, Mineral County, Esmeralda County, and then overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, we're going to continue to see the air get more saturated, more moisture moves in, and in yellow, that indicates pockets of heavier rainfall. So we could have some downpours by Friday morning at sunrise, at least in the Sierra. Again, it's going to favor the Sierra and kind of that little bit of a westerly track. By the afternoon, though, we're going to see more showers and thunderstorms start to develop here, and they have a better chance of being stronger in the afternoon due to some daytime heating and some energy to work with. But notice it's very scattered. Not all of us will get wet tomorrow. Then late Friday into Saturday, we're going to start to dry out. Drier air moves in on Saturday, and by Saturday we still have a chance for a stray shower thunderstorm, but the risk is going to go down. We have plenty of moisture to work with over today and throughout the day tomorrow. This here shows the precipitable water, or how much moisture we have to work with, and green means you have enough moisture, brown means you have some drier air to overcome. So this here is on Saturday. Notice we have a little bit of moisture to work with, but overall some drier air is starting to move in. This here shows shows what we call CAPE, but you just kind of think of that as food for the thunderstorms. Don't have much of it tonight where we could see some rain, but we do have some tomorrow afternoon, so can't rule out some thunderstorm activity on Friday. Now, in terms of how much rainfall we're expecting, it's going to favor the Sierra, and again, a little bit of that westerly track there in green. Up in the Sierra, could see anywhere between 1 to 2 inches of rainfall in the Truckee Meadows and into the state of Nevada itself. Further north, in general, less than a ½ inch. This is a model that I'm showing. It kind of gives the same idea where it's going to favor around Lake Tahoe, the Sierra, not quite as much in the Basin and Range or the Truckee Meadows, but we'll probably get some. Granted, it's not going to be widespread and rain totals will vary quite a bit. So there's still a lot to fine tune and everything, but in general, you can expect some showers and thunderstorms later today in Mono, Mineral County, Esmeralda County, and then tonight while you're in bed, it's possible we could have some rain, and then for the morning commute and tomorrow afternoon, scattered showers and thunderstorms, and then about a 20% chance on Saturday. Thank you so much for logging on and have a great day.